How we doing, people? Really and teach, ready to preach. Yours truly, Relican Rana, and the co-host of this establishment, Carisi. How we
Oh my
doing, brother?
gosh. I can't believe you just said all that.
Yes, I did. And
Tis a
ironically,
Monday.
you would have found it. You and Recon would have found it hilarious what I did yesterday, which is ironic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had the towel over my shoulder. I was before I went to the hardware store, a place I used to work at. They had the farmers market going on Sunday, and I got this Italian goobah going there. It'd be like, "Oh yeah, I made this morning, like 7 a.m." And I'm like, "You shitting me?" Sure enough, I surprised the house, and they're like, "What the hell's this?" I'm like, "Put on the water." Towel over my shoulder, everything, and it's very just funny because you and Recon with the Carisi humor, it's always a good time. That and well, last night's stream was eventful to say the least.
So you did what this morning? Or yesterday morning?
I decided to go grab pasta for the house, and
Oh,
go,
pasta.
yeah, there's a scene where Carisi's he's like cooking. He's got a rag over his shoulder, and he's going, "Yeah, I got it."
I didn't know Gracie was Italian.
Yes, he's an Italian from Staten Island.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, Carisi's an Italian from Staten Island.
Interesting. This I did not know.
I thought you would by now. uh, anyways, before we get started on everything, well, you certainly sound better.
Yes, I was sick last week. I was heavily sick. I had a terrible sinus infection.
I also want to say a shout out to, well, they're kind of family, but they also know about the show. We have one of them with a negative cancer screen, and we got one who is safe on his track back from a heart complication. So, shout out to the Russos. This is why I say stay healthy and well at the end of streams, is because shit happens. That's scary. Scares the hell out of everybody.
Yeah,
Especially
I will forever say this on the show and any show without a single care of censorship. Fuck cancer.
yes. Yes. Uh, so teach.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the way that we kind of get back to it, and well, if we go to the, I don't know, should we go by the part 2 to last episode, or do you want to crack open some cans, bro?
It's up to you. Your pick.
I say we open them up for the hell of it. We gotta give you a little wake up, a little wakey wake. Ironically, I'm staying on your day off, but it's evening time, not morning time. So
Ironically, you came up with this challenge, and I don't even know if all three of these actually are the same flavor.
So, to say the least, there's some we've debated if some of them are a little bit white cherry or some of them are just named as a quote unquote citrus. But to say the least, I identify the Gorilla Mind that is not, I could talk about it, but Teach wasn't able to find it. So I put it all in the 4. If anyone sees the Twitter, I ranked all 4 of these cans. We have the White Rockstar, aka Silver Ice. We have the Monster Zero Ultra, the white, which is, I don't know, that's one of the goated monsters. Top 5, top 3, and to you, be number 1, at least at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Prime Original. And so we have the White Gorilla Mind. It's called Arctic White. That is absolutely a tart grapefruit. You cannot say anything else about it. It's just tart white grapefruit.
So, disclaimer for anybody that was watching the Twitter, Relly made a post about all 4 cans, and he's like, well, I guess we're going to have a battle of the whites. It's just going to be all the white cans possible.
The Great White that is at least easy to find. I mean, it's
The other one I saw today, I'm surprised we didn't include, but it doesn't match up at all, is White Red Bull.
Yes, because that is the coconut berry in just a different flavor profile.
Yep.
Hey, Favor Wob, shout out and use this code if you want to buy some ulti. But I hope you enjoy that strawberry banana prime, man. I do have some of the G Fuel in the tub left over. I gotta retry it sometime. But to say the least, if G Fuel ever was smart and made a Phase X can, that would be thrown in here too.
Too bad they never went that route. Too bad they never went that route.
Again, if G Fuel actually wanted to give a shit and give a full attempt of its can line, screw the boys collab with Compound V. I hate to say it, but the things that you whiffed on to make it, I think, not just representable, but to get your foot in the door, right? I would say you should have made the juice can. And I think Phase X should have been on top of the list.
Could agree with
Phase
that.
X compete with Monster, the juice, because at that time when they released the cans, what was one of the number one sellers off the G Fuel website? The juice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you decided to go with watermelon limeade. That's great, but guess what? Your juice man, Mr. Canada, as controversial as he is, and me personally, I'm not big on excusey, but sales is sales.
So, really, what was the premise of this battle? Which of the four cans that are white by each company is better?
To say the least, overall, every single one has different notes, but which one is the best out of the four that qualify? I will say that all four of them are much different. Out of the ones that are tart, the Gorilla Mind one is the only one that stands out as being tart. The Prime is light. The Monster, at least my can was a little mellow. Like as far as it was a low carbonation and had a little bit of white cherry. And this one I just find refreshing. Now I mark this as number one personally, but I think you could easily flip flop them. I want to know what you think.
You think Rockstar's number one?
I do.
I've never had this. I think you underestimate how much Rockstar I've actually had in my life.
So you've told me that you had a Rockstar kick at some point, but we haven't really. The last time we really discussed Rockstar and you've tried it, you tried it off camera, and well, it was the Focus White Peach, and you're like, it's okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
So, I mean, granted, right? Formula wise, it works for me. But taste wise, I could pass it up for something else. And that's fair to say, right? Do I like that there's 200 milligrams in it? Do I like the lion's mane in it? Do I think overall it just works for me? Take out the dyes and it's perfect. Take out the dyes, make it taste a little better. It's perfect. But I digress.
Which one do you want me to try first?
So I know, thank goodness you don't have to like dump anything and you can just try them side by side. But try the Monster first. Then the Prime, then the Rockstar. Just sip it and gather your mind.
Okay. Classic white Monster. It's the citrusy white grapefruit. Classic. Forever a staple. Forever, arguably, in my opinion, number one of the Ultra line. Arguably one of the best monsters of all time. Arguably the best thing Monsters ever made.
As far as longevity, yes. As far as, it kind of gets me to where I'm kind of saying to myself, what's now the best? It's so hard because if you were to go just Monster, I mean, they make a lot, man. Like, it's even harder and harder to make a top 5. And there's some where it's going to be plus or minus. Like, I think the kiwi strawberry is up there. I think the reserve pineapple is up there. And then some people are, I like the watermelon, and so many people are saying that what the hell is wrong with you? It's trash. That just is what it is. To say the least, though, if you were to compare the white monster to the ruby red monster that just came out, which one's better?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say again. The new can or this monster?
Yeah, remember there's that ruby,
This monster.
ruby grapefruit. You
I would
prefer the white,
I would
right?
still prefer the white monster.
Is it because it's sweeter? Is it because it's less tart?
I think it just personally tastes better. Like, not that the other one tastes bad. I just think the grapefruit to this is, and the citrus is better together. I don't think the new one's bad by any means, but if I had to pick, the Monster Ultra White's always forever my go-to if I had to grab a monster.
I would imagine that. All right. So it's basically just like, I know what I have and that's it? Or
I mean, if we're just basing off flavor, it's a solid citrus grapefruit. And
I'm wondering what that is.
I hardly ever remember what the prime one is because I've never been a big fan of the prime cans.
Well, I mean, again, I think there's only two that are worth the time. 3 if you want to count the ice bomb.
Was this also grapefruit? Because it has that grapefruity taste.
I don't think it's classified as grapefruit. I don't think they've ever released it. I think it was just like a marketing gimmick or something. At least that's what it was to me.
Because it definitely seems like a citrusy grape. To me, it feels like Prime is just trying to copy Monster with this. It just feels like a citrusy grapefruit. Like, if I ever had to buy Prime, this would probably be it.
Does it feel watered down a little bit? Does it feel a little light to you?
It's light. I don't feel like it's watered down.
To me, it's light. Too light for me.
I feel like I feel like I can understand where you're coming from with saying it's watered down. I feel like it's just more of a I feel like the white monster's a citrus and grapefruit. This just feels like they're trying to go just straight grapefruit. And I feel like the citrus and the monster gives it a little bit more zing, a little bit more pizzazz. The prime just seems kind of a little bit more bland. Like, it's not bad, but it just feels like it needs that little bit more.
I think another thing that happens with it too is, now I tried them in different orders, and maybe it's because I had the prime last, perhaps. But it's like I went from like Monster, Rockstar, Gorilla Mind. I forget the order exactly. But when I went to the prime, I'm like, oh. Like I was like disappointed. So maybe that was just me, or maybe I'm more dramatic.
Really nothing to it that makes you want to go to it over something else.
There's no note that says give me more. It's just, I guess it's here.
I mean, basically at that point, then you're just probably going down to a formula thing at most. But like pure flavor wise, I'd still take Monster over this.
So if it's pretty much mid, right?
Yep.
All right. Now crack that silver ice.
The only thing I could really see you go like purely going off of like for a formula thing for some people is like the white monster does have 380 milligrams of sodium, which it is still a good volume of sodium. It's not an over the top incredible high amount, but it's still a decent amount of sodium, while the prime only has 70 milligrams of sodium.
And with the Monster and Rockstar, they're pretty much similar as far as sodium.
Let's say, yeah, Rockstar is also 380.
And the Monster is 370. At least that's what it says on mine.
Is this also supposed to be white grapefruit? Are they all just white grapefruits?
You might find that same note. Because I do.
Yeah, all three of them are just grapefruit. That's all it is. I'm assuming I now you also included the Gorilla Mines white can in this. I did not have access to
Yes.
that, so I cannot try it.
Understood.
Is this just a battle of the grapefruits then?
Pretty much. And again, maybe it's because they didn't want to turn anybody off from like, because I don't know people that go out of their way to buy grapefruit. So maybe it's a psychology by just saying ultra white or silver ice, which by the way, if anyone is in a bind and wants to find this, Dollar Trees carry the 12-ounce versions of this. It's a 12-ounce can, 200 milligrams of caffeine. Great buy every time. I see them a lot in my Dollar Trees.
Honestly, for having the Rockstar for the first time, not overly the top impressed.
I'm curious on this ranking.
It's been a long time since I've really had a Rockstar. The thing I dislike about the Prime the most is that it has just that Prime taste. And what I mean by that in a non-joking Logan Paul KSI funny way of saying it's Prime, etc., is that like, you know how Mountain Dews, they all kind of have that like Mountain Dewy taste no matter what.
No matter what, Rockstar is going to have Rockstar taste-ish, but I think it's more so Mountain Dew has a signature taste, Monster has a signature taste, Prime has one, C4 has one. Rockstar not so much, but it's kind of similar to anything sugar-free. Everything will have a similar aftertaste. It's just that it depends on what you tolerate.
Personally, from just ranking the three, number 3, remember these, mine are different from Relly because Relly's already shown his off, and I don't even remember what you ranked him as on the Twitter.
I personally, Prime is last.
I also put Prime as last. Prime being last, Rockstar being second, and surprise, surprise, Monster being first.
You see, I had a feeling that you would put Monster as the first one. That was just my thoughts. And again, I think on a different day, you could probably put these two as which one's different. I don't know. Like, it might be just the time of day, but there's sometimes where it's just like, hey, we got a 2 for $5 deal. What do you got? I'm grabbing me a Silver Ice, and I'm grabbing me probably something like Zero Strawberry Peach or a Berryade. The Rockstar Berryade, try it sometime if you're able to find it, man. I think you might like it.
Seen it.
It's a blue Rockstar can. It's called Berryade. It's part of the recovery line. It is what, if I had to think of what it was, it's probably what you wanted Shiny Splash to be this whole time.
Okay.
75% blueberry, 25% lemonade. Now, I'm not saying it's the best flavor of the year that they've came out with, but to me, it's a solid 4 stars. I think it's good. Find that sometime.
Yeah, I don't know where you find the Gorilla Mines because my GNC doesn't have them. I don't think I've had any Gorilla Mine. Was the one thing you sent me the one time Gorilla Mine? Wasn't it the one flavor?
Yes, it was a bad can. So, but at the time, that was Vitamin Shop, and GNC just started to get a Gorilla Mine just recently. I want to say within about the month.
Okay, maybe
I'm looking
for later down
for.
the line.
They have this Berry Blast or Berry Bomb or something. It's supposed to be like this mixed berry can. I'm trying to, take a look at something, but Yeah. Like I said, man, the Gorilla Mind formula-wise is my favorite can on the market, but there are some bad cans, but we are starting to find bad cans, and it appears almost every single line at this point. I mean, there's Bry from our audience tells me that he's done with Rise because he's had bad cans from him.
Which I find very surprising to have a bad can from Rise, because I've never had a bad can from Rise. They have very
And
good consistency.
and he doesn't like the crystallization on the bottom, which is the choline. I don't know. Maybe he watches Forensic Files like I do, and he thinks it's succinylcholine, which is supposed to hurt you. But yes. Boognast. I'm glad you mentioned it. So this goes out to my heart.
Oh
because-
man, this is another one that we both recently reviewed. That we actually reviewed off the show.
Yes. So Real Punch, the way that I put it is, think about the juice, but pineapple instead of watermelon. It's pineapple first, and then it's fruit punch aftertaste. My grandfather, who passed away before Christmas, he was born and raised in the Rio de Janeiro area. And then when he was 20 years old, he went on the boat to Newark, New Jersey, and the story goes from there. Yes, that is that to me is paradise. It's not the best thing Monster's ever made, but it's very good.
It's
I'm a
also
little
one of the
biased
very
towards-
few times that you'll see Relly and I having differing opinions. It's not always a thing. Sometimes it's minimal, sometimes it's a lot. Relly loved it. I honestly wasn't huge for it. Mind you, I love pineapple. I like pineapple juice. I like pineapple in different varieties of different creations of food and aspects, but Real Punch was not my thing. And I don't know if it was just like a weird off taste of the pineapple mixing with the punch, or if it was the pineapple flavor itself. But I wasn't huge on it. I trooped it out. I drank the rest, but I don't know if I would truly go back and ever drink it again.
I can understand that. And also, if you think about, you can find it, that is. There's a character line in chat now? Oh, damn, that sucks.
That may be a
Damn,
YouTube
StreamYard.
thing. We may have to look into that.
It might be a StreamYard, I think.
No, I don't think that's StreamYard.
Mhm.
It may be YouTube. May not be. Maybe something in settings. It may just be newer. Who knows? We'll have to look into that. YouTube's
We won't.
updating itself too.
But if you can find it, isn't the Gold Reserve, you can find it, pineapple?
Yes, I like the gold the gold one. That one's good.
So when we got it's so hard to compare now because we got Gold Reserve, we got Reserve Pineapple, and now we got Real Punch.
Mm-hmm.
Me
Maybe it's just,
personally, I go to Reserve Pineapple because it's easier to find, but all of them are good to me.
it may just be their punch, but something with the Rio didn't sit well, and it tasted kind of funky. Personally, for me, it was a 6 out of 10. For Relly, it was probably like a 9 out of 10.
8, but still.
Yeah, I figured it'd be high
Well,
up there for you.
I mean, for me, I give it 4 range. It's definitely not a 5.
I could see you going to 4.25.
It's so hard to tell, but we'll go yes. We'll go yes.
Wait, is that now your go-to monster?
You know, it's funny because I haven't had powders in a while because I've just been trying these new cans that have been coming out, and I'm just getting to my very last. Like, you remember when I bought the Focuses from Rockstar?
Mhm.
I'm down to like maybe half a dozen of them finally. But then it was like, I haven't tried this in a while. I'm looking out for that. The C4 cans just came out. It's been a while since I had a powder. Outside that one time where I was finishing off some Isaac Tears on the show. But I don't know. Real Punch. I think I grabbed it twice so far.
Grabbed it the one time to try because I remember you sending a picture and talking about it, and then I tried it and don't know if I'd ever go back to drinking it.
Do you think you would ever grab the C4 Hawaiian popsicle?
I see the C4 cans all the time. I don't know if I would ever truly go grab them. I'm not
It's
using the
pineapple
C4.
teach.
Like, if it's going to contain beta alanine, it's something I don't think I'd be drinking for the pleasure. Like, I could drink any of these technically for the pleasure. Like, something with beta alanine, like C4, is something where, okay, I drink this, I know I'm going to the gym.
So you wouldn't drink beta alanine if you're not going to the gym?
Correct.
Okay, I can understand that. You know, speaking of which, before we get on to part 2 of the keys to the castle, I wanted to bring something up to you because you seem to be better as far as ingredients, particularly this other one. So, Advanced GG brought back their chill line, and Rogue came out with another chill line. But the difference is Rogue's ingredient, as far as the chill ingredient, is ashwagandha.
Yep.
And then Advanced GG's is American-made CBD.
So what's your question on it?
I don't know. Compare, contrast.
I mean, first off, it'd probably come down to the consumer and how they feel about it. The ashwagandha may give it a slight earthy taste, just a slight. If they like, I haven't checked out either of these two products. I've heard of them doing such like lines. I thought one of them had melatonin for some reason, off the top of my noggin, but I probably am incorrect on that. The ashwagandha is known, it itself is known as a supplement to help relieve anxiety and stress. There's been other research out there that people think it's also can lead to help boosting testosterone, but there's been no inconclusive direct evidence of that, but it has been shown to help reduce stress and anxiety. As for CBD can also help mellow people out. It's also fantastic, but some people may have weird opinions about hemp and where CBD is derived from. So
another thing that I will say, and I can't get this out of my head, every time I go to Stacked, it says that they have the sponsor and they have it twice on every single page. It drives me freaking crazy. Why ashwagandha leaves should not be in your sports supplements. You want basically like how you want the branches, not the leaves or whatever. Not sure if you would know better than I would. Ooh, Quest Iced Coffee. I gotta look out for that.
But personally, when it comes to either of those two products, I would probably say sincerely which one tastes best to you. You as a consumer. Sometimes for some products like that, it isn't always about brand loyalty, and it's more of what one do you genuinely enjoy drinking. If, like, for the example, if the ashwagandha gives it a bit of more of an earthy taste and you don't find yourself actually enjoying it, then you won't use the product for the intended benefit. Then you're going to kind of have to more feel like you're forcing it down, and then that's not enjoyable. As I even like, we don't go over pre-workouts, but as I always tell a lot of people, one of the best things to look and do for pre-workouts is, yes, the formula is important, but if you don't genuinely enjoy the taste of it and don't genuinely enjoy drinking it, then you're not going to enjoy taking pre-workouts and getting the benefits from them to help you excel in the gym or whatever you may be doing. So part of it does kind of come down to the actual flavor and the taste of it. If you don't enjoy the product, you're not going to get the full benefits of it.
So, two things. I pulled up Stacked here. So this is kind of disappointing because this is a UK only flavor. But Monster has a flavor called Juiced. It's a pretty much like an apple monster.
An apple monster?
Yes.
It's UK only?
UK exclusive.
Why? Honestly, I've never seen or heard about
know.
that, and I wish that it was not UK exclusive. I would like to see how Monster does their take on. Interesting. That looks new.
Apple.
Is it new? Like it's already out, or?
Via Stacked, this article is 5 days old, and we got what Real Punch is supposed to be. It's supposed to be papaya, vanilla, and black currant.
Wait.
Which
Say
is
that
funny
again. Papaya, currant.
vanilla and black currant.
That's real
Which is
punch.
funny. Yeah. And I
can
hate
tell that.
papaya.
Yeah, papaya.
I
I think is
hate
what throws that
papaya.
off.
Why?
He's correct.
Oh, and if you see that GMC, if you ever see Bohm Energy, let me know. It's a good time.
Bohm Energy.
Yes.
Is it like in a can?
Yes.
I've never seen the can, but I do know the pre-workout.
12-ounce can.
Is it a pre-workout can?
From what the ingredients show me, I think it's an energy drink can.
Interesting, because that would be a drink brand by Mr. Bum himself, Mr. Olympian. Is his first?
Yeah,
name
I
Chris?
tried them. They're good, but as far as the ingredients, I think it's just simple. And as far as caffeine, I think it's only like 112 or something. It's only 100-ish.
So here's another funny thing, because I'm really intrigued by this now. Really, those monster cans are bigger than normal. The juiced,
The bad apple.
yeah, those are 500 milliliters. Your regular monster is 437 or 473, so it's not a huge amount more, but it is a little bit more.
Well, it's actually very funny because every time I look at Sneak, which I'll get to that in a moment, they say between 400 and 500 milliliters.
I wonder, that may be a UK thing, because in the US we have Monster Reserve Orange Dreamsicle. I know this, but looking at the same website for UK flavors of Monster, they also have the Orange Dreamsicle in a 12-pack at 500 milliliters.
Interesting.
So it looks like there's a lot more Monster flavors in the UK than we know of.
Oh,
There's another one
by the
called.
way, if you're wondering what we're using it before, sorry, just getting to the comment now. It is Advanced GG. You know how there's the Focus line and how there's the Energy line? There's a line they have called Chill. But speaking of the UK companies, have you seen what Sneak did?
No, but there are more monsters than just juiced.
I figured that.
There's another one called
About
Ripper. This one called Ripper is a killer combo of tropical juices. Sounds like that's up your alley. There's another one called Drink Punch Mixed.
If it's UK exclusive flavors, I'm actually not surprised. I mean, do you remember when there was the if you ever went to FYE, there's like a Monster Cola, but I believe it's Japanese, and it tastes like cola. It
Really?
looks like a 12-ounce salt can, but it's actually cola.
Did you know you have your own energy drink?
Hmm?
And you're like, what? Yeah.
Oh, wait. Relentless Energy?
Correct.
I remember Leticia Buffani, I think, was with them. This is going back like 10 years ago. Something crazy, but I haven't heard of anything. I had no idea what the hell they made. Nothing.
Relentless Energy, which, as funny as that is to say, is a real thing. Really does go by the nickname Relentless. It is a Monster Energy owned published company.
Which is very funny because I remember Leticia Buffani is for Red Bull. And that's probably your biggest moneymaker.
I wonder if this is like mostly a UK, because I don't think I've ever seen Relentless in America.
I thought it was like Florida or something. Ironically, because you're partnered with a Florida company.
No idea on the location for Relentless, but
I know Glitch is Florida, let's be honest.
that part is true. That part is true. Yeah, it looks like UK is getting more stuff for Monster than we are, and I do not understand why.
Okay, so I understand if like you're going with the tropical juices, but it's like the apple. Come on, somebody.
Yeah, bring that here.
Yeah, please. But Sneak is a UK company. Ended up bringing all these over. The Limeade, and I believe is sold out, but they're doing a soda series. It's cola, limeade, and root beer.
For energy powder?
Yes.
Or is it UK exclusive, or are they letting it be here too?
Oh no, it's here. It's here. My next check, that baby's coming. The cola's coming here.
I was gonna say, how many times have people wanted a cola from a company, and Sneak is gonna be the first to create a cola?
So they had Cola Millions a long before. I don't even remember how long ago, but it was an exclusive, and it went like that, and they never came. It never came back again. Like literally, you snap your fingers and just gone.
But forever, people have always wanted cola in a powder form for energy, supplement, etc. I don't know how well a cola is going to taste in that form. I think it's gonna be one of the like very hit or miss ones. They either knock it out of the park or it's a big miss.
You know, I just have in the back of my mind where Jimbo goes, dude, I'd want to do cola for advanced gamer subs. And I remember when he's just like, dude, why does Teach not like RC Cola? And I'm like, Jimbo, that's an unpopular opinion.
Because Coca-Cola is better, but RC Cola stays around because somebody's got to give the big dogs a run for their money.
I don't even remember when's the last time I've seen RC Cola.
Which that's also a Family Guy reference for any Family Guy people.
You know, that was actually what I was thinking of. Was it when they're in the desert and they're thinking, oh my God, we got a vending machine out here. Oh, it's just RC
Cola. Yep.
Never mind. They walk away. It's like the meme where it just goes, water, water, Dasani. Water, water. Yep. Criminy. God. Always a hilarious time with you, brother.
So, Mr. Relly, you got the keys to the castle, part 2. Not last week, because unfortunately we had to cancel last week's episode. I was sick. The week beforehand, we really started a little series called Keys to the Castle, which means if you had the keys to the company, what would you do? We had challenged I had challenged each of us, and we each gave each other a company, and we did a little bit of research and decided what we would do with each company if we had the keys to the castle. For remembrance, I gave Relly the Eye company. I gave him Glitch with an I. He gave me Advanced GG. Relly, you have the keys to the castle. What would you do?
I'm going first. So first off, I just want to say, just like my jersey, this is a 0 out of 10 and a 0 out of 100. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton, my guy. So, Project I. So, first and foremost, I understand that this is Wildcat's company. And the first thing that I would say is, listen, you know how Mr. Beast is in every single video because he's a YouTuber and Mr. Beast just happened to turn into a brand? But it's not only him, it's the whole crew and the people that he's a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guests, random people he will maybe see never again, stuff like that. Wildcat, I just think as far as the advertisements, it's like, dude, you don't have to show your face in every single one. You don't have to shout in every single one. Like, there's one ad where he's comparing, I forget what flavor, but he's comparing it to G Fuel Tropical Rain. And I'm like, you don't even have the same flavor profile. So what the hell's the point? If you want to go by formula, but that's fine. But if you want to go by taste-wise, at least do the same flavor. That's like saying, hey, we want to teach. If you wanted to compare flavor, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want to go, hey, I want to compare Glitch, Cherry Bomb, or Aim Assist. You would say, hey, I want to compare this to, let's say, Clickbait. Not G Fuel Bubble Gum that everyone's going to say, what the hell is this? It's just wrong. It's bad comparison. Why are you comparing an apple to a watermelon? It's stupid. Let's see. That's just the front of it, how they advertise and do all this. You know, I don't need anyone going, guys, guys, every single ad. Like, I understand like ad blocker exists, but the reason why I don't have ad blocker on is sometimes you do see shit that's hilarious, but you also have to know the do's and don'ts of marketing, which I always found fascinating ever since I was in school, since I was like 15 or so. Let's see. Along with Wildcats, so hooliganism, there's the fraternity vibes. Look at the YouTube and look at all the stuff. Which goes into the third topic at hand. So why does it seem like this is just you and all your friends just dishing a dirt and having it all be about yourselves when the old acquaintance of yours, I figured it out now who it is because he actually propped up on the Purple app. I won't say his name, but the fact that I had no idea he was partnered with the Eye Company. By the way, it's Glitch with the Eye, people. If you haven't noticed this by now, I don't give a shit. Sue me for all that matters. You have no case. It's freedom of speech. And this is constructive criticism. But the fact that it just seems to be the small little clique, and you have people like the said creator, I'm naming anonymous, not be involved. Like, why? How come you aren't pushing your creators more? You know, retweet your creators more, your partners, you know, get them involved more. Why does it just seem like on the back burner? Have like a creator spotlight. No, it's, hey, this is my friend. This is my company we're collabing with. We're doing with this. We want to compete with this company. He's trying the greens now, trying to compete with Ghost, and I don't recommend the cherry limeade. I tried it and it tastes like medicine. I can't imagine it with the greens formula. Ugh. Let's see. The sickening feeling, get rid of it, whatever the hell it is. Dynamine is bitter. I understand it increases performance, but if it's going to make it taste bitter and taste like shit, get rid of it. Personal opinion, malic acid, get rid of it. I know it's to make it taste more tart or sour, but if you already have Dynamine in there, what the hell are you doing? And that's the reason why a lot of these companies have failed. It's okay, if you want to make something sweet, like a sweet apple, and you put Dynamine in it, it's going to taste like crap. But you're going to double down with a sweet flavor, make it extra sour, extra tart, and say, yeah, it tastes sweet as pie, doesn't it? No, it sucks ass. I wonder why. Let's see. The caffeine labeling, I think, is just bullshit. So I actually pointed this out to Dubby one time, and I actually got in contact with the creator. So there is a coffee element in Dubby that's used as their antioxidant, and they show you the dosage of it. But if you complain with green coffee bean, which is their actual caffeine amount, and their coffee antioxidant, it looks like it's 300 milligrams of caffeine, but it's not. So I'm going to double down the same thing with the Eye brand. Don't do it. Label it better. And I think the last thing, I found this very weird. The taurine amount is actually doubled than what something normally would be. So instead of 1,000 milligrams, it's 2,000. I think that's weird. I think it's overdosed at that point. So the goal of this is 150 milligrams of caffeine. The Dynamine in it makes it last twice as long. I understand the science that you're putting behind it. But if that's the case, why are we doubling the amount of taurine in it per serving? Why is it 2,000 milligrams instead of 1,000? I'd like to know the science behind that. But you know me, as much as I said it, let's see. This is going to be painful me looking this up. Glitch Greens, don't care about you. Let's see. We have forgot how many servings this is. I'm not sure if it's 30 or if it's 40. Come on, click the label, damn it. Okay, so 30 servings for $44. So we got vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B12. Don't know why there's not vitamin B6 in here or B3 or niacin, as said. But
You keep
Yeah,
going.
'cause-
I'm gonna beer me real quick.
go ahead. But I'm going to just put this in the comment section right here. It says 150 milligrams of caffeine. So if everyone was to go by, let me just close these tabs right here. I'm going to actually showcase this real quick. But that's just a click in case somebody wants to put that there. I'm just going to present. Come on, StreamYard, you son of a bitch. So if we look here, I understand 30 servings, that's self-explanatory. C, D, which I find interesting. I'm not against vitamin D at all. E, okay, we'll take it. High dosage of E and 12, but again, I don't know why B, E, and B6 aren't in here. Now, keep in mind with everybody, we have green tea leaf extract and caffeine from coffee bean extract. So it says it's 150 milligrams of caffeine. Okay, that's fine. But you see what I mean where it goes 150 here, 150 here? Because tea, I assume caffeine. And then there's a caffeine right there. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we have 300 milligrams of caffeine. I don't get it. Did you see that real quick, Teach? I didn't see it on the screen.
No, I saw it.
So I'm just confused on where they're going with this. Also, I find it interesting how you'd have the malic acid in there to, I guess they're going like a bitter or a tart or anything else. It's a peach.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're the first or second company along with F3 that says, hey, let's screw up peach. I don't know about you, but I don't want to screw up peach.
Well, really, I enjoy and appreciate you taking your time and really deep diving and giving us that presentation on what you would do if you had the keys to the castle to the I company.
Yes. Now, I want to know what you're going to, if you had the keys to the castle, Teach, you own and operate Advanced GG.
May I just say,
I think the bare bones, go.
I think personally, I gave you the easier of the two because there's a lot.
Really?
I think it's easier to point out the flaws in Glitch Eye than Advanced GG. Personally, if I had the keys to the castle for Advanced GG, I think no matter what it is product-wise, we go back to the table and we see why it is so chalky. Advanced GG is quite chalky. I would say they are similar level, if not damn near worse, than G Fuel on chalkiness.
I agree, although I could tell you why.
I also will give a hot take, but mind you, I have the keys to the castle. We abolished the focus line.
Really? Because that's the most popular selling line, honestly.
Which I find interesting, because if I am a general consumer, and you have to remember that not everybody generally checks ingredients or really cares about what they put into their body, while the focus line may have extra ingredients that can be more beneficial than their general energy line.
I'll give you the label for the blueberry acai focus just so you can see right here. So granted, ignore the 2 scoops because I think 1 is plenty. I know it's going to say 100 milligrams of caffeine, but trust me, I actually think that the 100 is worthwhile. The ingredients are top notch. Because when you add in the new level, when you add in the choline, surprisingly, the caffeine's from green tea because coffee is supposed to be more effective. and there's our antioxidants on the bottom. A little bit of black pepper, which some people find weird, but it's more common than we think.
But as such, I personally have never been a fan of their focus line from anything I've tried. Their hydration line is good. I still strongly think we abolished the focus line and they stick to the energy line. Because 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, unless you are somebody that is looking directly at Advanced GG, if you are
Mango
customer looking at
hydration.
it from a blanket level, I would assume most consumers would go to Advanced GG and say, I want caffeine, so they would go and look at the energy. They probably think the focus line is different unless they truly cared and wanted to do the research to find that the focus line may actually also have a little bit more energy to it, a little bit more of a kick through ingredients. Generally speaking, most people are just going to go, oh, I want energy, me buy energy, rather than actually looking at it. So I think you abolish the focus line. I think you keep the hydration line. I think you amp it up because they do have a solid hydration line. Every sample you've sent me of that does taste well. I have pleasantly enjoyed the experience from that. The other number one thing that they update and they need to get rid of is we're going to put some money into shipping. The one time we had Advanced GG come through, for us to get a tub, you basically got it in a black bag. Even mine came ripped. Why is that product not being shipped in a box? Ship it in a box.
That was the first time around. I don't remember the last time I had Advanced GG, but they come in a box.
If they come in a box now, fantastic. But the other time previously, stop shipping it in a bag.
Especially when it was a plastic shaker. This is when the supply chain was gradually going down, mind you. But still, that's kind of distasteful. As far as the cans, I believe that they stopped making cans. I'm not sure what the complications was about that, but they stopped making cans. And are you pretty much agreed on that? Kibosh on the cans?
I would, yes. I don't blame companies for trying to compete in the open market. As much as I hate to tell you all this, G Fuel is probably the only one. All these other G supplement companies that are creating cans, they are putting a lot of money into it, and they're going to have the hardest time competing because you have to remember that they are competing with the two biggest conglomerates, Red Bull and Monster. Most general people that are diehard Monster people that are constantly going to their gas station to grab Monster, they're not going to become a diehard G Fuel person because they're going to see those. It's going to be a very hard conversion. Get rid of the cans. I think Advanced getting rid of the cans is a fine and dandy thing. Stick to the powders. Stick to pushing people to mixing it up in a shaker and drinking more water and having a more beneficial hydration line, getting more hydration in you, drinking more water. Like, just stick to the powder supplements. I think the biggest thing is coming down to how you are marketing it to the demographic, especially with cans. Nobody in their right mind was going, I'm going to switch my life around and buy Advanced GG cans only instead of a Monster Red Bull on a daily basis. And plus, Advanced GG was not big enough to be in gas stations and or Walmarts, unlike G Fuel was.
And even G Fuel is being pulled out of all the Walmarts.
There is, and I also wouldn't be surprised if they are slowly Xing that, because when's the last time they've had a new flavor come out?
Well, we've mentioned that quite a bit, and that's Halloween.
The other thing is with the Keys to the Castle with Advanced GG is I want to see us do some bigger collabs. I think it was great for them to do the collab with Sentinels, with a big name gaming org. I think the other thing that they need to do is do some more big name collabs with that. Maybe a new game, maybe another esports team.
Smite, they had one. Oh, also, this is an easy one. Abolish the vitamin class. We've debunked that on the show before, saying that was a colossal waste of time.
The one thing I do really like that Advanced GG does have that I think you can also soup up more, just because it's probably done decently well. I wouldn't know to the fullest extent, but at a blank value when researching this the other day, step it up with the rewards. They seem to have a decent rewards program. You know, I think if you can amplify the sentiment of giving people more reward for buying your product, that's another reason for them to want to come back and spend more so they can get more and just have it be a return value. People are like, oh, I have 150 points and 50 points equals $5. they're going to be spending so much more and trying to gather more points so they can get more money off future tubs or future products. Because I would argue that's one of the bigger things that kept people going back to G Fuel for a long time was the reward system. Was saying, I can get this tub or I can get this weird inflatable because I have so many points and spent so much there. People are going crazy over that. I think you step up with the point system.
All right. Let's see. They have a collab. Is this a collab with? Oh, this is a Smite collab. Okay. We have seen other nice collabs. I remember the Splitgate collab that's been reskinned to regular Rocket Pop. I don't think there's a hydration collab yet. As far as collabs, I'd like to see more stuff, more creator stuff.
I think creators are pretty good with. Creators, I think they're fine with getting collabs. But I think with the Queso Castle, we improve our partner-manager relationships with our creators because there has been many big creators that have left Advanced GG for other companies, aka GamerSupps, for the reasoning of bad relations with the partnership managers. I don't know what else going on, but there's a lot of rumors through the grapevine that have been proven true. That is the reason. Bad partner management relationships.
Oh, here's actually a cool feature I actually like, which is actually really good here. So I find this very cool here. I just found this out. And yes, absolutely, the partner manager rumor has been just crazy. So for the hell of it here, let's just pick... This feature is actually kind of cool. Okay. Let's just stick with... we'll stick with energy. Look at this feature.
Yep. You get to pick a shaker, you get to pick a 4-pack of energy, focus, or hydration, and then you get to pick a sticker for an advance.
It says the creator right there. Wow. That's crazy. I really like that, actually.
I've given them credit for doing the sticker thing. It's a nice little touch when it comes to packages. It's kind of neat. It's kind of cool, especially if it has like your favorite creator's logo or something else represent your favorite creator. That maybe that creator's the reason why you've tried Advanced GG. If it's something they're putting too many resources into, then we're gonna cut that. But if it's fine and dandy and doesn't really hurt the bottom line, then keep it.
What got me was, let's say there's two ways that you could actually do this. So one is the referral link from the creator. But the one thing that I remember doing is you would go starter kits and you would scroll down until you found the certain creator that you liked or you followed. And you would click their kit and it would be already set up. So at some point it would be, it's like these are the flavors they chose. It's like, damn, I wish I could get the cotton candy, but oh well. Oh, I wish they had this shaker, but oh well. No, it's the same thing. You pick a shaker, you pick your 4 samples, you pick a sticker, and if you're smart enough and if you've been referred to anyway, you use their code. And even if you don't use a code, there's got to be some little compensation of using their sticker, whatever it is, right? Let's just say,
if I had to put a bottom line to it, having the keys to Advanced GG, stick to what works, make a more easy difference between the energy line, the hydration line, abolish the focus line, just let people know what's energy and what's not. They've always done a decent experience with their shaker lines. It felt like for a long period of time that like your two main top dogs were G Fuel and Advanced GG out there way like a couple years ago. And then I feel like Advanced GG's kind of dropped the ball a little bit, and now GamerSupps has picked up heavily. So with that, I feel like they could go back and try to show like, hey, we don't have a bunch of dyes in our product, or we're not using this X and Y, and we're healthier than GamerSupps. Sure, we don't have the giant booba waifus that you want, but because anime sells more than the actual product.
That's very true. And it's actually funny because I remember when there was a time period where the anime guys didn't want to spend nothing. Then they started working, and now they get anything they want. I mean, Gamer Subs has it down, and they know what sells and they know what doesn't, and they've been able to just keep it going. And even some of the flavors that I think are just not great, they end up selling. Whereas, again, you have some of the stuff that they're on a ton of backstock. Like, I don't remember the last time I've checked G Fuel, but I'm pretty sure I'm just checking for the hell of it, just to see if I'm right. I want to know if there's actually bubble gum tubs that they probably never sold.
Probably. But we will save this review as well for next week, because I found this recently, and maybe Riley can get his hands on this next week, and we can review this.
I could go to my Vitamin Shop or my GNC and give the old college try. Vitamin Shop probably a better bet because they carry more, but I got both here. Not looking likely. What happened? They had to give them away?
No idea.
Although at least they got the peach iced tea back. It's definitely not going to be the... I'm told that every single one is different, which is good, but still. I'm just looking around and... oh, Shock did make a video, and you know how there's some times where Shock gets on camera and he's comfortable, and then there's sometimes you kind of look at him and you go, hey, dude, you all right? You kind of get what I'm saying?
Sure.
To a point.
Sure. I can't tell you the last time I've watched a Shock video.
Damn, bro. I watch him regularly, so I mean, I'm like, if it's like an update, I'm watching. If it's a review, maybe not, but if it's an update, I've always got it going on. And I'm not gonna lie, the Twitter that we got for the podcast, it does help just weed everything out a little bit better. But Shock was trying to say that G Fuel might be going back to its roots. Something we've talked about for a while. The possibility of there being too many flavors. Now, I agree with all the codes being 20% at all times. If you want to raise it 30% for like a certain holiday, I get it. But the fact that all of them were 20% all year round for the most part, I think that's just a W for creators. Because again, those people, let's say that there is a person that flipped G Fuel shakers, let's say, right? You put them on eBay, whatever. He's going to use a 30% code regardless. Hey, this weekend I'm 30%. It's like, hey man, what's your code today? This weekend it's 10. Sorry, broski, he's 30. That happened.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it happen every month. That part's good. The fact that he's told that BOGO is only going to be 4 times a year again, instead of partial BOGO, the candy flavor BOGO, oh, the can, buy one, get exclusive again. Because there's a point where there's a limited BOGO every month and the shit got ridiculous. It had to be done. If anyone wants to go to as far as though, we've said it every week for a while now, how come it's not exclusive when it used to be? You let nobodies get a code. And it's starting to get worse and worse. And one thing that I'll actually tell Sneak about this, and I'll say this with my chest out, there were a lot of good creators that got cut when Sneak said that they were ending its partner program. You give it 6 to 12 months, and now they have the Legion. And now they actually say in the label, hey, you want to join the Legion? Hey, Teach, guess what the qualifications are?
Make a sacrificial lamb to the Sneak gods.
1,000 followers on Instagram or TikTok, or a different social media site that they approve of.
Well, they want to hope their product's getting exposure and that you can actually push numbers and you have some CVV to you.
Well, hey, let's just say this: if there was a website that they approve of, let's just see this right now. What happens if I get my dude right? Well, to say the least, there's actually I do got fans from, obviously, there's most of them that don't even know I do this, but let's see. You see that number right there?
Mm-hmm.
Does that count?
Maybe.
So metaphorically speaking, could I just go into like a sneak group and be like, "Hey, you legends," pretend like I'm British and advertise my code? Is that how it works? No disrespect to anybody who's a small creator, of course. But just the mere fact that instead of it being part of the culture like it used to be, now it's starting to be just some, I don't know, Teach, give me a word. I want to say propaganda.
Propaganda.
I wanted to lean away from cash grab or propaganda or sellout or something like that. Like, I remember it was like, this is for the gamers. Now it's for, this is for my niece, this is for my nephew, this is for my coworker, this is my, and that's fine if they find like a healthy substitute for their life. But all these collabs, all this short stock, all this exclusive stuff is starting to get a little annoying. It's kind of like Palace, Supreme, all that. Trying to get away from that. Particularly after they sold plain and simple vibrators.
Hey, they were trying something different. You know, sometimes you just can't mix up your own flavors, so you need a little agitator.
Yeah, what's next? They got OF collabs.
Who knows, but I'm sure it'll sell product. And that is probably the perfect point in time to end that conversation and end episode 107.
Yeah. We're going to see that guy using a code, and then he's going to hop on chat roulette afterward. Jesus Christ.
Good old Michael.
That chat shut down for better and for worse. You the man, Teach. You are the man, of course. Although, speaking of sneak, I do want some time, if you and Recon, let me know if those sneak milk samples are bad, because I'll just resend them if you find them. I think you two will honestly enjoy them. I definitely need your thoughts on them, because I do plan on getting the sneak cola and sending it out to you just to see how that goes. Because, well, for obvious reasons, we need to see if this is worth it or not, because everyone's been afraid about it. I need to see. Anyways, everybody, that is episode 107. Not 007, 107. Crazy to think about it. We got some more stuff to try, more stuff to research, more things to look into. So, I cannot stress this enough. You kind of know our policy by now. Please take care of yourselves. Tell your people you love them. Drink your freaking water. Stay safe, stay healthy. Please so help me God. As always, no matter what's in a can or what's in a cup, we're all friends here. Stay caffeinated. Take it easy, fellas.